What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Yarrell, aka T Spillin. Got my friend here,
Sam.
And this is Spilling All the Tea. This segment is Spirit and Soul. This is going to be part 2 to the spring cleaning trilogy that we're doing. That's what I'm going to call it. Today, we will be talking about a topic is called Got the Blessing.
This will be more like you talking, and then I'm going to chime in where I see fit.
Yeah, what he said. So, my purpose for doing this is, actually, I've actually shared, my way of thinking with a lot of people that I work with, come in contact with, and I remember my friend Antoine, he had said to me, we got the blessing, we're waiting for the glory. And I'm like, you know what, sure enough, you're right. So, I want to use a seed as an example. And like I said again, you chime in whenever you're ready. But think of prayer as a seed. Alright? Now, I'll say an apple seed. So we have an apple seed. Alright, there we go. Now, the apple seed itself, of course, is going to grow to be apple tree, right? So where is the tree itself? It's inside the seed. The seed for us is the prayer. So when we have the seed, we already have the blessing. The blessing is encased within the prayer. Now I know y'all probably looking like, okay, y'all real, you're losing me here. But here's what I want to say, and I need y'all to follow me here. Hopefully I don't lose anybody. So the soil is the body. It's us. And first it depends on, and I think this is probably where you may chime in on, is it depends on how, I won't necessarily say, well, I'll say fertile. Because, with most soil, you have to think about it. If you drop a seed on hard soil, is it really going to grow? If it hasn't been tilled. Or what if it's been tilled, but it's not nourished? Is it really going to grow anything?
Well, of course not. There's a parable.
We'll talk about it.
And there's a parable in the Good Book where it directly relates to this.
All right.
Where hey, you put your seed in good soil, and it's going to grow. The roots are going to grow deep, and it's going to produce greatly. You put it in sand, and it's just going to be a bunch of loose roots, and a good wind comes through, blows it over. It's done. You plant your seed upon a rock. Well, they'll grow, but those seeds don't take root in anything. And very quickly, a bird can come by and eat your seed. So you always got to be cautious of where you plant your seeds and what you want. What you want from it is you got to make sure that you're ready for that seed, for that blessing. And if you're not ready for it, it's just going to wither away.
So yeah, I knew I had you here for a reason now.
I may not always know what I'm talking about.
I think you do. But what I'm getting at is the soul is you. So what I'm saying is if we have the seed, that's the prayer, and inside the prayer is the blessing itself, we're planting it on the inside of us. Because what we're going to need for all of this to come to fruition is, you have the soul itself. The nutrients. You need some good nutrient-dense soil. Those minerals is your faith. Like I said, I know he can give it to you from the New Testament perspective. I can give it to you from the Old. But if you plant a seed and it's not in good, nourished, soil, it's not going to do much. And I know I'm guilty of it where I've prayed a prayer not believing that it will come to pass and absolutely nothing happens. And I can't get mad, at the Most High because I didn't believe that was going to come to pass anyway. But there have been prayers that I've prayed and I just knew. And it's like I leaned on the word and I had something to sit on. And it came to pass many, many times before. So, the faith is what's going to keep the soil nourished. But then we're going to need, water. The water is going to be God's word itself. Like I said, you have nutrient-dense soil, but if you're not, watering, the soil with something.
And this also goes back to T-spilling. T-spilling.
T-spilling, yeah.
He goes back to his previous his previous segment where make sure you're in the right season. If you're not in the right season,
ooh, you beat me to it.
And you playing and you, my bad, I just thought of it.
Oh, go ahead.
But you playing, you know, if you say that prayer for that blessing, and it may be something that you need that you want, but if you are in the wrong season, if you're at the wrong point in time in your life, it ain't gonna take root. You ain't gonna get what you need. You may get a little bit, but you ain't gonna get what you need. So I'll let T get back to his thing, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna better explain it than what I did. But just make sure you're in the right season.
And I will. And before I go any further, I don't want anybody to think, oh my gosh, she's on here trying to do the whole prosperity preacher thing. Definitely not. But, you know, I do believe that if you ask, I do believe asking you shall receive. I honestly do believe that. I do believe pray without ceasing. I mean, it is just what it is, you know. I mean, if I can be so bold, and this is probably going to bleed a little bit into what people call calling things, you know, into existence. But if you think about Abraham, when he was going to, you know, offer up Isaac, and he had, you know, his two servants with him, before going up, he said to them, you know, we will be back. How did he know? And it never said that he prayed, but I'm pretty sure there was some praying going on. And Isaac was old enough to know what was happening, but he knew deep down within, he trusted God enough to know that he was gonna get me out. Even Isaac had asked, you know, where's the sacrifice? God will provide it. And what happened? There was a ram in the bush. That was sacrifice, and he came back down. You know, there are so many examples, you know, of the fervent prayer and knowing and believing that, you know, we're going to come out of this. But back to what he was saying, if you are in a winter and you're trying to plant, if you're in a wintry season in your life and you're trying to plant a seed, you really have to ask yourself, is it really going to grow? You know, if you're in the winter, and if you're in that winter because you're in a cold, dark place or whatever brought you to that season, it's not to say that you can't plant the seed, because the seed could just be sitting there and just waiting for you to go into your springtime. So once everything melts, it goes down, and now it can start, you know, giving you what you need. But you just got to be careful about the, you know, the season in which you go to plant it.
And at the same time, you know, the good Lord, He's not going to sit there and say, hey, you're going to pray this, you're in a winter season, and you're going to plant it, and it's going to produce, and you're going to be blessed. He'll let you know. And He'll put you through the trials and tribulations that you need to, or the winter, or the summer, or the spring or the fall, whatever it may be. When the time is right, He'll let you know, hey, now is the time to plant that seed. Now is when you want to pray that prayer. He's not going to let you go at it alone. Because one person working a big field is hard. You know, that's the beauty of things, is you're not doing it by yourself. He's always there with you, and He will give you the strength and the willpower to keep persevering through these things, so that your prayers, your blessings, you can see the glory come from them. You will be able to eat from that tree. You will be able to reap your crops. You will sow your crops and feed your family, because your family's going to turn around and feed the rest of the world too.
All right now. Oh, okay. All right, try to take the spotlight from me. That's all right. That's all right. No, don't. But at the same exact time, one thing that I do want to mention before signing off, and again, you know, like I say, if there's anything you guys want to contribute, you can always put down in the comment section below. But
this is gonna be about mustache?
No. But what I do want to say is, you know, like I said, for those that know me, and this is no stabs, no jabs at anybody, like I said, I don't quote the New Testament often. But when it's on a platform like this, and knowing that I have people from various walks of life and various faiths watching, you know, the Bible does say faith without works is dead. And I'm saying this for this reason. Many of us, we will pray a prayer that requires action. not just faith. You can't add, and I mean, here's the thing: if this strike a nerve for somebody, like I said, you know, hey, I'm the messenger right now, but it is what it is. But if you sit here and you ask, you know what, God, I need a job. I'm praying that you go help me find a job. But if you never leave your house, if you never actively pursue a job, you cannot get mad when the job does not come. You can have all the faith in the world that you will get a job, that something will come through. But where's your action? You have to put forth some type of, and you can apply this to even broader things. But I want to keep it here because it's more tangible. I don't want to sit here and be like, you want to be a millionaire? I ain't gonna do y'all like that. Like I said, I ain't one of them. Y'all want somebody to sit here and preach prosperity to you. Y'all know where to go. No tea, no shade. But what I'm getting at is giving everything, you know, from the seed itself, you know, being the prayer, the blessing being on the inside, from your body being the soil, you know, from your faith being, you know, just how nutrient dense the soil is, from God's word being the water, you know, another life source. At some point, there is the action. There is the action. You have to put something behind it. You have to do something. You have to pursue something. You know, sometimes just having faith, but okay, you know, the water is God's word. How are you getting it? Are you cracking open the book? You know, there are just some things that are going to require you to have to, you know, put your feet on the ground and get the movement.
Going with that.
Where we going?
If you with everything you're saying,
right.
you've got to put work in.
Yes, you do.
So if you have a prayer, your blessing that you want to happen, you gotta make sure your soul's right.
Yes, you do.
So that's going to take internal work. It's going to take water. Like you said, which is His word.
Yes, it is.
Well, who's going to water it? You got to water it.
Oh.
So whoever's working the fields, they're going to have to water it too. And they're going to have to make sure that plot of land is where there's sufficient amount of sunlight. You know, those are things that, as a farmer, you want to make sure that you're putting in ample amount of work. So you can pray these prayers, but again, it ties in directly with what T is saying, that if you're not putting in the work and you're saying a prayer, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But if you're putting in the work and you're saying the prayer and you believe it's going to happen, by all means, you're doing what you need to, and God will reward you in the way that He sees fit.
And last thing, before we cut off, if you guys watched I think I said in the previous video about, well, maybe I said it here, don't remember, but every seed is going to grow at a different rate. Remember that also. So if you sit here and you pray a prayer, especially if it's one that's going to require some time, don't think just because it does not happen within a year or when you expect it to happen that God is not, you know, working on it. You know, I know a lot of people say, He's an on-time God.
He's on time.
On time. Not there when you want Him, but He's there when you need Him. Like I said, I say He's always there. But just remember, you know, if you're planting a seed, like an apple tree seed, an orange tree seed, it's a tree. It's going to take years before it even produces fruit. The good thing about those is you can see something starting to build, but just know that before you can reap the harvest of some of the prayers and that you have, you know, out there. Because I'm here to tell you, some of the prayers that y'all probably have asked for are still moving. But what you don't want is you don't want the enemy, a demon, a spirit, adversity, whatever, to come and put doubt in your mind. Because as soon as you start doubting, that's when the prayer and the dream goes away, you guys. So, I mean, that's all I got. You got any closing remarks for this segment?
Last thing is on a little bit different, a little bit of a side note. But just because you want something to happen doesn't mean that's going to happen. Some of the prayers that we think that we want and that we need, and even we can mean it from the bottom of our hearts, doesn't mean it's what's best for us.
Weirdly enough, He's actually taking us into the next segment that we're about to record. Weirdly enough.
I just want to say that, so just the big man upstairs knows what he's doing, what he's talking about. He'll take care of him.
So, with that being said, you guys, this is Spilling All the Tea. This segment is spirit and soul. I almost called it spirit of truth. Lord help me. With this video and all others, please rate, comment, subscribe if you have not already done so. You know, like I said, if you guys want to continue to keep this going and whatnot, like I said, you can always leave a comment down in the box below. So we want to thank you for watching. Love you guys. Until next time. Peace.